right here, I'm turning down the counterweight that is attached to that motor for this bandsaw conversion. Once I turn that down, I'm going to make a flywheel, or not a flywheel, but a pulley out of 3.5-inch steel. It'll be a lot smaller, but anyways. Alright, this is me making a pulley out of basically bar stock that's 3.5 inches thick. So right now I'm boring down, not boring, I'm sorry. Right now I'm facing down the width of where the actual pulley is going to be at. Then I'll need to face down the shaft end. And what I'll do is I'll bore down the middle about a 1 400,000th inch hole. And we'll see. This is the beginning. It's a long, slow process. This is my friend Emre. He's trying to hide. This is the pulley. There's Emre running off. There he goes. So this is the pulley I'm making right here. And right now these are 70-degree angles because that's what's required for the belts. This is a 3.5-inch round stock. And then I'm going to turn this down next, but right now I'm going to bore the center hole right now. Where we're at. Okay, good. Alright, so here I'm boring out the main shaft hole with that boring bar. And there's Emre that keeps trying to hide. Going. Being set in by the machine right there, you see. Alright, so here we go. So this is a counterweight for the motor that this pulley is going to slide into, and this got turned down right here to 1 125,000ths, and as you see, it slides in just perfect. No play, like a boss. There's Emre right there. Comes over here, tells me 25 different ways to do it, and then walks away after he's giving me instruction on none. All right. I got that too, bud. Alright, here we go. So here, I'm turning down the shaft side of this pulley. So you can kind of see the pulley will be where the pulley's at. And then this is the shaft side. So if you were looking at it compared to like this pulley, I'm doing this portion of it. Now right now I'm just getting the length. I'm just getting the length right there. And then I'll turn that down to narrow. Coming along. So here what you see now is me narrowing it down. I'm building that. Actually building a shaft on it. Coming along. Alright, so here is the finished product. Nice, smooth pulley. 70-degree angles. Boom. And I drilled all the way through, so it's going to attach to the motor. Just like that, which I drilled that hole earlier. Whoop. And then I will pin this mother trucker. Here we go. We got some oh, everybody wants to run. Everybody wants to run. There's Fabio, the greatest machinist in our shop. And this is the finished product. So you can see the pin all the way through. Boom, boom. And that attaches the flywheel to the counterweight and then to the drive shaft of the DC motor. Because this is reverse threaded, it'll unrun with the direction I need it to go. Alright, there you go. Alright, now that we got the not the flywheel, now that we got the pulley done, now it's time to make the motor mounts, or not the, the motor mounts for it to mount to the 14-inch bandsaw over there. So I went ahead and I've already sanded down the paint at the edge. Went ahead and cut 5.5-inch lengths of angle iron. Went ahead and already cleaned them up. Now, just gonna weld them up. Essentially gonna look like this. That's what it's gonna look like when it's welded up. Alright. Alright, so I just finished up welding those mounts. So if you see the main wheel, whoops, the main wheel is either the shaft or the wheel is a little warped. But you can see it's tracking pretty good on my flywheel, or on my pulley. Probably, whoops. Let's see here. All right, so I measured out, drilled the holes, put little reference marks on here, and now we're gonna go ahead and see how this installs. Hopefully this hopefully this works out as planned. So far, so good. We'll see. So I'm pretty comfortable with the fit. There's enough play to where if I got to make any minor adjustments, it'll work. But everything's also pretty snug. So if I sense that down. Next, so before I go ahead and actually mount this, I want to take this piece over to my fancy paint booth and paint it. I'm going to paint it with the same rubber leak seal that I painted the stand I made for the control panel. It's going to mount like this. So the control panel will go right here so I can control the speeds. Alright. I'll show you over where my fancy paint booth is. In the fancy paint booth, voila, there's my paint booth. Spent a lot of money on it. Alright, folks, while I'm waiting for the motor mount bracket to dry, I went ahead and mounted the control panel stand. So you see I just anchored it down there. Oh, this washer actually goes up here. Anchored it down there, and then I went ahead and fabbed up you can't really see, a little spacer that has about a 4-degree angle on it, and then gave it a little additional support, the bolt there. So this thing, let's see if it focuses in here. So this thing's about as solid as it can be. It'll support that weight of that control panel. I mean, this thing is not moving. So that's where we're at. And then so that thing's gonna flip up over to there. And I'll show you progress when I get there. But back to the my paint booth. There's my nice fancy paint booth. There's the part. So I've already done 2 coats of primer, and now I did that leak seal. I love the leak seal. I love the texture it gives. But there's the bracket. So I'll probably mount that on tonight after it dries a little bit more. Yeah. All right. Progress is being made. Colton, say hello.
Hello.
Back up. Look at here. All right. Say hello.
Hello.
What are we doing today, Colt?
Making my go-kart.
We're making a tool that we're going to use for your go-kart, right? All right. What are we going to tighten up? We're going to tighten those bolts up?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's tighten these bolts up.
Let's get red traction and fight the bullet.
That's right. That's right. Come on over here.
We need to
Okay.
fight the bullet.
So let's take this, and you put it right here. Come here, bud. And I'm gonna put this down here. There we go. Now come over here. So that was the motor box installation by Colton Parkinson. No?
By Colton Parkinson.
I love you, bud. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Alright, so my son and I just mounted the motor box, and I just went ahead and put the motor on. But something that I had already anticipated was that the power wires from the motor weren't going to be long enough to reach up into the box. So I'm going to have to splice them together. Alright, making a little more progress. Got the control box configured. Now the only thing I have left to do is put the blade on and adjust the blade, but so yeah, just go ahead and power it up. And there you go. Alright, so I would say the project is 90% done now. The only thing I have left to do is do a fan belt guard on the back side, because the original one, which you can see I got down at the bottom right now, doesn't fit anymore. But we'll take a little closer look here, and I'll show you what's going on. So I've got the blade on there. I got a bi-metal cutting blade. I've got the control box. I've got the cords protected, or the wires. Everything's routed up. I still got to do the speeds. Right now I'm just doing it by sound. I do have an RPM thing that I'm going to gauge by RPMs and then convert that over to feet per minute. But yeah, the only other negative thing about this is these rigid bandsaws have negative reviews because they flex so much, even with wood cutting operations. And you can see when I'm cutting, like that whole top is like bowing. But I mean, it goes. I mean, I can do 45s. I can cut small projects on there. Well, here we go. I'll show you what I'm talking about. And that, pretty clean cut. Gives me slower speeds, and like I said, I can also crank it up if I want for wood operations. So I can get it going for wood. But for steel, I just slow it down. Yeah, there you go, folks. That is, yeah. That is my metal cutting bandsaw now. Ain't bad. I'll let you know when I build the guard for it, or the guard in the back, but as far as operations goes, that's done.